2023 has been an incredible year here at First Students. I'm so thankful to celebrate all the ways that God has moved this year with you tonight. First Students exists to help students take steps of growth in their relationship with Jesus. And I'm 1000% without a doubt certain we achieved that this year. There are so many different ways that you guys took spiritual steps of faith this year. Let's look at a few of these together. We rang in the new year with D Now 23, the best weekend of the year by far. Turner faithfully proclaimed the gospel and challenged us to share it. Jordan led us so well in worship. We served our community, and don't forget about the legendary silent disco on Saturday night. D Now 24 is right around the corner, and I can just tell you, you don't want to miss it. Coming out of D Now, we began to pray for our next big event, Invite Night. This was a night to invite our friends who don't know Jesus to hear and respond to the gospel. Our goal was to have 80 in attendance. We broke 100. But what's even more great, one student believed in the gospel message and was baptized soon after. And that is all that matters. In February, we crashed Timber Lodge lanes for bowling night. And some of you really need to work on your game, but man, we had a great time. We dominated some smoothies at Hawaiian night, and we only blew up one blender, so I count that as a win. In the spring, we started a short video series called We Are First Students. 7 leaders within our student ministry shared their story of coming to know Jesus and how they are continuing to grow in their relationship with Him. Overall, those videos have been viewed over 10,000 times. Thank you to all who told your story. We ended the year with game night, playing board games and pool and ping pong and indoor soccer. It was a great night. Right after school ended, First Baptist Church partnered with the International Mission Board to send a team of students to work with missionaries stationed in Madrid, Spain. The trip was truly life-changing for all of us, as we shared the gospel in a subway station, worshiped with a brand new church plant, helped teach beginner English classes. Our eyes were opened to the lostness of the city, but also the power of the gospel. One day, we handed out Spanish gospel tracts and Bibles at a nearby subway station. It was that day that we met Emilio. Emilio initially was asking people for money at the subway station, but our team that was serving there got to talk with Emilio and invited him to English classes and eventually invited him to worship at the church plant with us on Sunday morning. Emilio initially was just interested in hanging out with some foreign Americans, but after we left, he continued to attend the church plant. A few weeks after we had returned home, Emilio believed in the gospel of Jesus and was baptized. He is still attending the church plant and is growing in his relationship with Christ. While it was fun to travel internationally, to see a new culture and all of that, to see the gospel bring salvation to someone like Emilio is literally the best thing ever. Shortly after coming back from Spain, we headed out to go to Ouachita Baptist University to attend Super Summer Arkansas. At camp this year, we had 5 students believe in the gospel for the first time, and we even baptized 2 of them the day after we got back. In total, we had 10 life-changing decisions made at camp this year. We're still seeing the fruits of what God did at Super Summer Arkansas. In July, we dominated Dave & Buster's at Girls Night and Guys Night. We made a quick trip to the Travs game and had our student leadership retreat. And then we joined with our church in serving our community at Vacation Bible School. At the end of the summer, we took a trip to Bentonville to partner with a church plant called Story Church. We hosted block parties in several different communities. We served meals to those in need and shared the gospel more than 50 times while on this trip. In fact, all 15 of our team members got to share the gospel before we came home from the trip, and we saw 5 people believe in the gospel and become connected with the local church. And we need to stop here just for a moment and give a shout out to some of the best interns on the planet. Cade, thank you so much for coming back for another year to serve First Students. Your passion for seeing Christ known is contagious, and your impact that you've made here at First Students is immeasurable. Wes, Thank you for being willing to travel the world with some of our bonehead students. Your willingness to serve in any way possible is evident to all that you are around. You proclaim Jesus well this summer. Wes is continuing to serve here at FirstStudents during midweek, and he's leading a D group, so thank you, Wes, for your continued investment here at FirstStudents. Sophia, thank you for jumping in and going with us on our trip to Northwest Arkansas to work with Story Church. We're so grateful for your heart to see the lost come to know Christ, and we're hoping to see you around FirstStudents a little bit more here soon. We kicked off the school year with Country versus Country Club, and Country won by a mile. But I don't think that surprises me. I don't think that should surprise me. In September, we had free t-shirt night, maybe my favorite night of the year, where we gave away over 100 free t-shirts so that you guys could rep FirstStudents proudly. We celebrated Croctober during the month of October and got to rep some really cool Croc keychains and charms. On October 7th, we partnered with Southern Baptists from all over the state to take part in one-day mission trip right here in Monticello. We had more than 30 students serving across our town, and we had more than 100 gospel conversations in one day. Our community and the surrounding area will feel the effects of one day for a long, long time. On November 1st, we went to FCA's Fields of Faith right down the road at Hyatt Field. We got to worship with over 400 other people from our community, and 18 people decided to follow Jesus for the very first time. It was an incredible night, worshiping with our community. In November, we had a fun movie night, and we unveiled our new You Belong Here wall. And then last Wednesday night, we commissioned you guys to take the gospel to your family and to your friends, just like the church at Antioch commissioned Paul and Barnabas. It was a powerful night to recognize the calling of the Great Commission. But I can't let this video end without talking about some of my favorite things that have happened this year. Romans 1 tells us that the gospel is the power of salvation for all who would believe. And we've seen that a lot this year. Guys, get this. We have seen 13 students believe in the gospel for the first time here in 2023. And we've seen 10 students baptized right here at First Baptist Church. Absolutely incredible. Back in the spring, we trained every first student to share the gospel by using the 3 circles method from the North American Mission Board. We defined what a gospel conversation is, and we practiced having gospel conversations in real life scenarios. During this evangelism training series in April, we started our gospel conversation counter and our gospel prayers on our chalkboard. On the left side, we're praying for those in our lives that need to hear the gospel. And on the right side, we're keeping count of how many gospel conversations that FirstStudents have had throughout the year. We started keeping count in April. So to date, after about 8 months, our students have shared the gospel 288 times. On average, our students are sharing the gospel somewhere with someone more than once a day. I'm so incredibly proud of you guys seeing Jesus' vision of the Great Commission and taking the gospel to the world. At the beginning of the year, we started a Bible reading plan that would take us through the whole Bible in just a year. More than 40 FirstStudents have participated in this plan at some point or another this year, but there are some people who have stuck with it all the way, and they're on track to finish the whole Bible this year. There's still a couple weeks left, but those who are on track to finish are Misty and Ryan Morgan, Dakota Barbee, Hannah Harrison, Kate Morgan, and Mallory and Megan Burgess. Thank you guys so much for motivating me and pushing me to read the Bible every day in 2023. I've had several people throughout this semester tell me how much they've enjoyed worshiping with our student-led band. Thank you so much for those who serve on our worship teams and on our AV teams. You guys get better every week, and it's a joy to watch you serve. I have to give a shout out to our adult and college volunteers. Thank you guys for participating and leading small groups and D groups and life groups and all the groups. And thank you for serving us meals and hanging out with us during midweek and just loving our students so well. FirstStudents is great because you guys are great. You guys are the heart of service behind what makes First Students special, and we can't thank you enough. This is our second year of having a student leadership team within First Students. They have prayed for each of you. They've pulled off some incredible events, and I'm so proud of each one of them. Nick Jones, Ed Ramos, Maggie Ficuri, Elena Lau, Mary Joy Jones, Olivia Lau, Braden Chancellor, and Hannah Harrison. Thank you, student leaders. During our first midweek worship service of the 21-22 school year, about 2.5 years ago, we had 16 in attendance for that midweek worship service. This semester, we've averaged more than 80. Now, attendance isn't everything, and it's not even one of the most important things, but it does show you guys' willingness to share the gospel and invite your friends to come be a part of what God is doing here at First Students. But it's not just our midweek worship services that are growing in numbers. This semester, we've had almost double the participation in our discipleship groups. Our D groups are at the heart of what we're trying to do here at First Students, where we take previous generations and connect them with our students to form discipleship relationships. Way back in January, we set 8 goals for our student ministry in a midweek that we called State of the Students. And I'm happy to report that we have met and exceeded all 8 of those goals. We've trained every student in evangelism. We have increased our participation in service to our church. We've sent over 50 different students on the mission of Jesus. And we have seen way more than our number of life-changing decisions this year here at First Students. I'm going on my 3rd year here at First Baptist as your student pastor, and I can't stop bragging about you to anyone who will listen. I'm so proud of the growth that I've seen in you, and I'm so proud to be your student pastor. I love you all. It's wild to think that we're halfway through December, and in just a few short days, we'll be in 2024. I am praising God for all that He has done this past year, but I can't wait to see what He's going to do next. Thank you, First Students, for a great 2023, and bring on 2024.